Hey guys, it's Courtney and welcome to my first video for my Mother's Day card series. Today I'm using two stamp sets, both by Avery Elle. One is Mom and Dad and the other is the Floral Bouquet. I decided to create a border around my card panel. I'm using Simon Says Stamp ink on Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock to create my border. I cut out 3 masks for each image so I could mask as I went along and not have to peel off each time that I stamp. I'm using both of the flowers as well as both of the leaves and this little sprig with the buds to kind of just fill in some of those areas. Once all my images were stamped out, I removed all my masks and began my Copic coloring. I'm using 2 different colors for the flowers and the buds. I'll just show you 2 of the flowers in real time and then I will skip through the rest because I did color them all the same. I start off with my lightest color, which in this case is an RV11, and just mapped out where my darkest areas will be. For my flowers, I wanted to make the petals look like they kind of bloom out a little bit, so my highlight will actually be in the center of the petal rather than the edge of the petal. I'm putting my darkest areas both in the center and on the edges and just using a flicking motion to create some dimension. I start with my lightest, go to my darkest, and then my 2 midtones, and then back in with my lightest to just fill in that highlight area. For the other flowers, I'm using my BG markers, and I pretty much did the same thing. I'll go ahead and show you one of the smaller flowers. I colored them the same exact way. I just used smaller flicks just so I can maintain that highlight in the center of the petals. My lightest color, I'm using a BG11. Then I moved on to my darkest color, which is a BG18, then a BG15, BG13, and then back to my BG11. Once all my coloring was done, I took a white Jelly Roll pen to add back in the stamen of the flowers. It is part of the stamped image, but being I use such dark Copic colors, I kind of lost them. So I just created some dots and little flicks to show the stem of the stamen itself. For my sentiment, I am using the Mom and Dad stamp set, also by Avery Elle. And there's a little banner in this stamp set, so I just took a scrap piece of that same Nina white cardstock and stamped that with my intense black ink. And I'm using my RV markers to color that banner in. Next, I took the Happy Mother's Day greeting in that stamp set, and I just curved that a little bit on my acrylic block so that it would go with the flow of the banner, and I stamped that with VersaFine ink and set that aside to dry. I took that large mom from that stamp set and used that same ink and stamped that right in the center of my panel. For the banner, there is a coordinating die for this stamp set, but it is pretty easy to cut out, so I just ended up fussy cutting this. I took some Scotch foam tape to pop that up right underneath that mom sentiment, and I took a Spectrum Noir sparkle pen just to add a little bit of shimmer to that banner. And that is it for card number 1. I will see you guys tomorrow for card number 2. Have a great day.